Okay, and hi to all. Welcome back to the BSA, the B31, on a very chilly morning in South Norfolk in England. Beautiful day, but yeah, we're about it's about 0 degrees, 1 degree, something like that. So I thought I'd take the opportunity just to, while it's not raining, to wheel the bike out and just do a little video on where I am with it, and a couple of little modifications we're going to make for this year. Obviously we're in January now. Just had a bit of snow, which has cleared. I do try and ride the bikes in winter, just a few miles up and down the road, but one of the big problems we have around here is obviously we in the UK there's salt and grit, the main roads in winter, but on the rural back roads they get absolutely covered in mud. We have a lot of sugar beet lorries, heating oil trucks, a lot of farm equipment, and the verges just get destroyed. And there's nothing worse than trying to clean a motorbike that's covered in mud and grit. So anyway, that's my excuse and I'm sticking to it. But yeah, so I'd like to say after the engine rebuild at the end of the summer we got a few thousand miles in, but unfortunately we only managed about 220-ish. Yeah, we got through a tank of fuel. But that was about it. You know, life gets in the way, unfortunately, of the big plans and trips and dreams. But anyway, I digress. So what have I done to the bike? First of all, I struggled riding. I just didn't like it without being able to see what's behind me. So I've put a bar end mirror on. They do spoil the look of these old bikes, I think, but these little round bar end things are as good a compromise as you can get. Again, trying to ride in modern traffic, you know how bars in the back of your head. So yeah, we've got if you put in bar end mirror into Google at the minute, these stadium ones, if that'll focus, keep coming up. They're about £30. They're not cheap for what they are, and to be honest, they're as lightweight and thinner metal, stainless steel as you can get. You know, they're a bit chintzy. That's not going to focus. It's just pressed stainless steel. They're alright, but like I say, they're not cheap for what they are. So yeah, I put one of them on, and yeah, it makes riding a little bit safer. On that note, obviously I went to a lot of time and trouble finding one of these original Lucas lamps. But it is only a tail light. There's no brake function in it. Again, modern traffic. I might have to get one of the modern replicas that have a stop lamp in and rig something up just to make it a little bit safer. But we'll see how we get on. Excuse me. Yeah, so handlebar mirror, stop lamp, think about. The rear brake is squealing a lot at low speeds. I've used those Villiers linings before and on the matchless, and they're perfect. The front one's fine, but for some reason the rear one's squealing and it's really annoying and loud. So we'll have to have a little investigation on that. The front forks, if you remember, I took the new brass bushes out and put the old ones back in because they were binding, and I was in a bit of a push to get this back on the road before winter. So yeah, there's a lot of fore and aft movement on the forks, so something we can revisit. I think actually the majority of the wear is in the bottom tubes. And there's a couple of new old stock ones floating around on the old eBay. Not cheap, but it's where do you stop? Obviously if you put new bottoms on you'd have to get new stanchions, and yeah, where do you draw the line on these old things. The engine, the main bit that was done, it's been running fine. No particular dramas. It starts fine, cold. I think we'll have to do a cold start, won't we? Everybody likes a cold start video. Yeah, hot, fine. The magneto's good. It's charging well. No mega leaks. We have got a little annoying weep just at the, the cylinder barrel at the base, and that's where the bottom gasket is at its narrowest. It's so thin and tiny there. When it gets hot. Also, a tiny little bit from the cylinder head is weeping down onto the studs. I know they're not supposed to. I wish I'd have put a little bit of well seal or something, just a thin smear on the cylinder heads. I know that, we lapped it in, but would that have made any difference? A little bit well seal? Don't know. The carburetor, that is one thing, a slight little issue. So you're driving along 40 mile an hour, you roll off the throttle and come to a stand, it will cut out now and again. Well, it just won't resume its idle, it won't return to an idle. Give it a couple of blips on the throttle and it will come back to life and maintain its, fairly, fast idle, good idle. But yeah, so when you roll off the throttle, you've been at speed, come to a stop, it will try and die. The mixture seems okay, and the problem is if I put the idle speed up a bit, it will then idle too fast. I suppose I could bring it back on the retard, but yeah, I don't know if that's a problem with these pre-monoblocks. Yeah, something I'll have to have a little look into. It's either overfueling or there's not enough, or too much air, or yeah. So it'll idle fine, but it's just when you roll off the throttle, come to a stand, if you don't blip the throttle, it will cut out. So yeah, a bit more investigation there. The speedo. I say I've done about 200 odd miles. I'm gonna have to get a new cable. The inner piece keeps working its way out, drops down. So I have done a couple of trips where the speedo's quit on me. It's also overreading a little bit by about 5 miles an hour. It's the right speedo for the bike, going to the parts book. So maybe that need a clean up inside. I have been in these before. The tricky bit's getting the damn bezel off without damaging anything, and the needle if it's never been off before. But yeah, sort of recovered. Yeah, forks, bar and mirror speedo, the engine. But the problem that's annoying me the most, and the reason I didn't get as many miles as I wanted to, is that pesky 6-spring clutch. I've tried all sorts to try and get it, dial gauges and all the rest of it. Simple fact is, if you take all the pressure off the springs, the gearbox shifts lovely. It's a slow gearbox, but it's a nice box. But as soon as but obviously when you wind the springs off, it slips. 4th gear roll on. I like my sound of a clutch slipping. Yeah, so that's a bit annoying. So yeah, and if you wind the springs on, it just makes for a very unpleasant gear change. And an unpredictable is the best word, I think. An unpredictable gear change. Sometimes it'll hit lovely, other times, yeah, it just makes it hard work and takes enjoyment out of it. So I've taken the plunge and ordered the 4-spring clutch kit from Dragonfly, which is in the garage there waiting to be fitted. So that's another reason I thought I'd just do a quick update video. So they're not cheap, they're best part 500 quid. I didn't really want to spend any more, but anyway, I bought it. We'll get it on. I'll do a couple of videos on it, and we'll see if it's everybody says it's the way to go with these things, so we shall give it a whirl. Right, yeah, let's do a cold start, eh? So let me just stop this, I'll set you guys on the bin and we'll see if we can fire it up. Yeah, just like to also say thanks for all the really nice comments on some of the videos. And the other really interesting thing with the YouTube is the analytics. I know quite a lot of people say this, but it's amazing when you start out, even just doing a few videos like this, you know, where people are watching from. You know, 100% of you are apparently men. So there are still a few of us out there, guys. Yeah, 100% according to the analytics. So yeah, good for us. But yeah, all over the world, Eastern Europe, Scandinavia, Indonesia, India, yeah, you name it. Everybody's watching from everywhere. So yeah, thanks guys, and yeah, let's do a cold start, eh? Okay guys, so I've got you set up on the bin, and yeah, we'll give this a fire up. It's a bit icy out there, so probably won't go for a ride, but yeah. So with this, when it's cold, obviously flood it up, and then usually you give it a nice, retard the ignition a little bit, give it a big handful of throttle, get the air in it, match the fuel, and off it goes. And when it's hot, no throttle, just a kick. So yeah, let's give it a whirl then. These do leak. Right. Just over compression. It's got straight 50 oil in it, so it's still on the thick side. It'll go wet after a couple of weeks. Needs to warm up a bit before trying to get it idle. Yeah, the camera doesn't do the sound any justice. They never seem to sound good on the old YouTube videos, do they? That is a bit of condensation, like I say, it's only about 1 degree. Well, I hope it's condensation. But yeah, like I say, it ticks over fine, it idles perfect. But like I say, after a ride, you know, on the throttle, comes to a stand, it will try and cut out. And you can blip the throttle, and it won't cut. But like I say, when it's been under load, for some reason it will try and, the idle will die if you don't blip the throttle. Full advance. I suppose I could increase the idle a little bit just to see. Try and slow it down a bit. There you go, eh? I suppose it doesn't do them any good idling too slow for too long. Okay guys, so I'm tempted to go for a damn ride now, but anyway, I'll put some more videos up when I put that put the 4-spring clutch in. Thanks for watching. Well, I couldn't resist going out for a ride, could I? I know it's completely covered in mud. Look at that. Spend hours cleaning it now. Like I say, it is ticking over. That's quite a quick tick over, but again, shutting off the throttle after running at 40-50 mile an hour, coming to a stand, it will try and cut. So if anybody's got any suggestions, does it need to be richer, leaner? I don't know. Anyway, we're going to put it back in the garage now. Spend a couple of hours cleaning it.